Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about emerging technologies in our supply chain. So when we talk about supply chains, we also talk about digital technologies in our supply chain. In the recent years, we have seen massive development in digital technologies that is helping our supply chains, not just any particular industry or sector, but all the industries and the sector. So when we talk about supply chain, we look into the supplier side, we look into the customer side, we also look in between, which is the procurement, logistic, marketing, and the entire operations of the supply chain. To understand the digital technologies and to understand what type of digital technologies are available for our supply chain, first we need to understand the evolution of digital technologies. So to understand the evolution of digitalization in supply chains, we need to understand the Industrial Revolution. And this diagrams gives us the Industrial Revolution where we started using machines in our factory setup and for train engines, for transport engines and all that in 1800th century. Then after that, in Industry 2.0, we started mass production, and Henry Ford car manufacturing is one of the best example of mass production or the assembly line in 1900th century. Then in 2000, we have seen Industry 3.0 where we had the computers, automated systems, automated manufacturing, production lines, and the electrical items as well, for example, the DVD players and all that. Then in 2010, we started Industry 4.0. There was a big boom into the digital technologies and technologies being used in several different type of industry sectors and the organization. So that was the cyber physical system where we had seen the boom in internet technologies, Wi-Fi system, and networking. So that has emerged the cyber physical system, Internet of Things, networking, machine learning, robotics, drones, and so many other things. Now, this is what we are using right now. We are into the Industry 4.0 era, and we are using those technologies in our supply chains, in our industries, in services and manufacturing as well. Now there is a new industry, which is Industry 5.0, which we are establishing that it has emerged since 2020, where we are moving from Industry 4.0 to Industry 5.0, which is the transformation. So transformation from Industry 4.0 to 5.0. That is where we are looking at that we have to be more sustainable, we have to be human-centric, and we have to be resilient in our supply chains. Where we're looking at the human-robot collaboration, more cognitive systems, and customization. So customization and mass personalization as well. Mass customization and mass personalization. Why? Because the consumer behavior is changing. We are looking for the product who are closely related to us. So as an example, you got your own, you own a phone, you have a laptop, you might have a PC. That is your personal, that is what we call personal computer or personal phone or mobile phones, which is something personal to you. Not other people in your family are using your phones or your PC or your laptop. So human behavior is changing. They need more personal things which they can use, or they don't want to share it with other people. So more personalization is coming into existence, and that is why when you have personalization, you need to have several different choices based on your personal need. So for example, if I buy an iPhone, I would rather go for a blue color instead of red color, but somebody else in my family, they might like red color. So that is why the customization is also important, because people have different choices, people have different need, people have different type of choices of colors, choices of features and all that. And that is why the cars, any other electronics, it comes in different colors, different, sometimes different features, and sometimes different shapes as well. So the evolution of industries in industrialization up to 5.0, what we can see in this diagram, the first evolution came into existence in the 18th century. For the second revolution, we have seen after almost about 100 years in 19th century. Then the third one, again another 100 year it took to come up with the automation, computers and all that. But after that, when we look at 2000, it just took 10 years because of a big boom in digital technologies, because of the internet, Wi-Fi, 4G and 5G connectivity. We have seen just 10 years. And now we are looking into another 10 year by 2020, which is Industry 5.0 starting. Now you can see that the big boom is still going on, and every week or every month we saw something new coming up in the market, in terms of technologies, in terms of new devices, or which has new functions and all that. So the product development has been rapid since we had the technology, and because of technology we can share information, we can communicate with our supplier, we can communicate with our customers, what they're looking for, what are their needs, what feature they're looking for in a product, and what are their demand pattern, analyzing data. Because of the technology, because of having Internet of Things, because of having Wi-Fi capability and faster internet and networking, we can capture a lot of data in every day, every hour, in any of the organization or any of the supply chain. And that data becomes big data, and that big data we are using to analyze the demand pattern, the supply pattern, and several different type of forecasting and predictions for our supply chains and for our businesses, any industry, any sector as well. So industrial revolution gives us a picture of where we stand right now and what are we doing with those digital technologies, and how we can implement or how we can use those digital technologies in Industry 5.0. Now Industry 5.0, which is ongoing now, even though it is ongoing, it is already here, but what I would say that people or the organization doesn't even have, or many of the organization or sector doesn't even have, or doesn't even have implemented Industry 4.0 in their businesses, either manufacturing or services. Now here we are talking about Industry 5.0. So let's talk about Industry 5.0, what exactly Industry 5.0 is. Now, since 2010, we are having Industry 4.0, and most of the businesses or the sectors or the industries are implementing more and more digital technologies, for example, robotics in their manufacturing system. So there is always has been confusion and nervousness that what will happen to the jobs if the businesses are implementing more automation, Internet of Things, having applications being used to analyze the data. There is no need for Excel sheets anymore, and so many other things. So what will happen to the jobs? Now the robots will be working in the industries, and they will be manufacturing or delivering services to your customers. So what will happen to your job? That has been a confusion. And also there has been some other challenges, or I would say other drawbacks having Industry 4.0. Not just the jobs, but also when people are using, when organizations are using more automation, and they are becoming more and more efficient in terms of manufacturing and delivering the product, to your customers. At the same time, they are manufacturing more and more because their capability of manufacturing something has increased because of the automation, because of the digital technologies. The supply chains are becoming more and more faster. So what has happened? There is always, when we have the factory capacity to produce more, so we have to run the factory with 100% capacity. So we are producing more and more, and even at the same time, the consumer behavior is changing as well. So when the consumer behavior is changing and the factories are becoming more and more efficient to produce and deliver products to the consumer, what has happened that we are producing more quantities. Now, that is producing more is not a good idea in our supply chains, because when we produce more, we work on push demand. When we are pushing the product toward the consumer, and that need more promotions, discounts, and all that. So that is one thing. And when people buy the product, using automation in factories also given us cost efficiency as well, so we can produce more product with the less cost. So what has happened, the people are buying the cheaper product, and sometimes they buy those products which they do not actually need. So as an example, if you go to market and you try to buy a shirt, and that shirt is on promotion, or 50% discount, let's say, and you think that, okay, instead of one, you can buy two because that is on discount. So you're buying two shirts, but you only need one. So what will happen after some time? You might get bored with that shirt very quickly, because you are using the same shirt again and again because you have two. So what will happen after getting bored? You might throw it away or give it to charity or whatever. And that is where the sustainability kicks in. More the number of products you are buying and not using it for a long time, that is not sustainable for the future of the planet. So it's not sustainable. You are not using, you are consuming more, you are not reusing it, or somebody else is not reusing it. That is where the sustainability comes in. So that is where we are thinking about Industry 5.0, where we can be more and more sustainable in terms of not just using the products, but at the same time producing the product in a way that those products are much more sustainable. And that is what you might have seen in your country, wherever you are. You might have seen the ban on poly bags, the polythene bags or the shopping bags made by plastic. So the government is banning those bags because that has adverse impact on the planet, and that is damaging not just the ground, but the sea or the water as well. So sustainability, these are some of that is just one example of sustainability. Also, the excess clothing which we are not using it for a long time and we are just throwing it away, that goes to either landfill, or now it is going to recycling as well, or maybe reuse it. Some people are buying second hand or pre-owned clothes and now reusing it. And you might have seen there are so many new websites or new stores are being opening, who sell pre-owned stuff or second-hand stuff. There are so many in different countries. In one of them in UK is CEX store, where you can go and sell your pre-owned item, and somebody will go there and buy it from there. Cash generators is another example, and there are several other websites in different countries. British Heart Foundation and some other physical stores are also getting stuff in charity from people. The people, when they don't want anything, they just go and give it to them, and those people are selling and raising funds for cancer research and heart research and some other charitable deed as well. So sustainability is one of the major issue, and we will talk about these examples later on. Sustainability is one of the major issue, and that is why we are moving towards the sustainability. At the same time, what we have seen during COVID-19, during the Ukraine and Russia conflict, and during the Brexit in the UK, when UK came out of European Union, what we have seen, there was so many uncertainties in the supply chain. So resilience means simply means that what will happen if that type of situation arise again, how we are going to cope up with our supply chain. So we have to be resilient, that if that type of challenges happen again, how or what type of strategies we are going to use to make sure that our business doesn't suffer in a way it suffered in the first instance of COVID-19. So if that type of pandemic happen again, I believe businesses are much more prepared to deal with that type of situations. So we have to be resilient. So we have to look at the challenges, what challenges we have faced, and now how can we overcome those challenges. Human-centric, we also need to understand about like the nervousness of the people, that if machines are working in the factory setup, more and more digital technologies, more and more automations is being used in manufacturing, in service industry, and new type of robots coming up who can deal with your customer. And a good example is chatbots on any website. When you go and try to talk to the support people, and on the other end, a computer, not the physical person, not a person, a computer is answering your questions, which has preset answer. Or sometime now, because of the artificial intelligence, the chatbot had the capability to think and come up with a relevant answer to your question as well. So the technology is emerging. So human-centric, that which is approach that humans are going to work with the digital technologies. Humans need to understand those technologies. Humans need to work with those technologies, work with the automation, the robots and all that. So that is a human-centric approach, that all that technology is for the benefit of humans. So if we talk about the contribution of industry to society, that is industry 5.0, that how those industrialization, the digital technologies are contributing to the society. We can't just have the technology, automation, artificial intelligence, data and all that, if that is not giving a good impact or positive impact on the human being. So that is industry 5.0, and that is what we are looking into in our supply chain, that how can we be more sustainable, how can we be more resilient and human-centric in our supply chain. So those are the three pillars of industry 5.0. So industry 4.0 is mainly about digital technologies, automation, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and anything related with the technology side. But Industry 5.0, that we use the technologies which is coming from Industry 4.0. At the same time, we use the human-centric. We will be human-centric. The humans work alongside with those technologies and create a better environment, which is sustainable environment, and we become resilient as well, that if such type of challenges happen or difficulties happen in future, how we are going to deal with that.